Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sportsman's Warehouse in Columbia, South Carolina. Brett Collins, director of the Carolinas Bass Challenge and Carolina Anglers Team Trails with us today. We're going to talk about some products that you need to make sure you have with you to kick off the 2013 tournament season. Brett, you got some tournaments coming up regionally, one next week on Murray, but there are a lot of tournaments all over the South, and fish right now are biting in a lot of lakes, as we talked a little bit earlier, fairly shallow, maybe more shallow than people realize, which leads us to some of these baits which you're going to showcase for us today.
Yeah, that's right. We hadn't had a whole lot of warm weather, but it's February. The fish are going to start moving up. If we do have that little bit of warm weather, it'll just make them move up even more shallower. But there's fish right now on Lake Murray in the 8 to 10 foot range. There's fish even shallower than that, because I can tell you from years past, you can see those fish. Those are the ones you probably won't catch that you can see. But the fish under those main lake docks and on the points would rock. Remember, there's not any grass left in Lake Murray. So you got to look for rock, and more rock. And those deeper docks on the main lake is where the fish are going to be. Unless we have that warm trend, those fish at Murray will already move back in that pocket. And if you're going to be out there on a point, you want to take something like this Buckeye Jig. You can trim it with a zoom trailer, your favorite crawl trailer. Throw it out there, drag it across those rocks, and if the fish are there, usually they'll pick that up. Now, one thing that's always worked well at Murray and a lot of the lakes, but anyway, like I said, when you hit those rocks with a crankbait like the KVD 1.5, it's a real popular crankbait. Crawdad is a good color on Lake Murray, but any shad pattern will work too. If you hit those rocks with this bait, all you got to do is pause it, drag it over it, pull it with your rod. And like I said, if we get that cold weather, you will catch big fish with this bait on Lake Murray. It's been done in the past. It'll be done this coming Saturday, I'm telling you. And if you want to fish a little bit deeper on the points, take something like this deeper diving Lucky Craft crankbait. Same thing, use something in a crawfish pattern. Well, blue and chartreuse works good on Lake Murray too. But you can throw that out there on the points a little bit in deeper water. You're going to catch those bigger fish probably that's not moved up yet, as well as you're going to have some of the bigger fish that's moved up. But that's a real good bait to use, especially on a cold morning. Now, a lot of guys here lately, the jerkbait has really become popular on a lot of lakes, but I know it's become really, really popular on Lake Murray in the early part of the spring. And if it was me, I would look for a boat ramp other than some points, but the points are going to work for you. Take that out, twitch it, reel it down, jerk it, give it some little jerks and twitches there, and just hold on. Usually you got to pause it a little bit, but the fish will come get that. Lake Murray's a clear lake, and they'll see this bait from a long ways off, and they'll come get it. But other than that, you just you need to stay shallow. It's my firm belief, even if we got cold weather, I don't care if it's 20 degrees 2 or 3 mornings before the tournament, I would still fish shallow on Lake Murray. But you need to go deeper, but that edge is going to be the guys that can find the rocks that the fish are using out on the main lake and throw a crankbait, throw a jig, and you can come away with 25 pounds. I've done it personally in a tournament. I've seen it done so much that I can tell you that's how it's going to be won.
I'll tell you what, I don't think we can duplicate that effort, Brett. That's good stuff and great insight for some baits to throw in the next few weeks, because it's February 1st. Tournament season's kicking off, and don't forget, for these products and more, all you got to do is come to Sportsman's Warehouse here off Piney Grove Road or online at www.sportsmanswarehouse.com 24/7. Brett, thanks for joining us, and folks, we'll see you next week.